Morning, Barry from Cayenne and Cayenne Propshaft. We've got a couple in today. This is one we've just done and just finished putting back in. This is your complete prop shaft along here. I don't know if Ray, who's got the video camera, can capture all of it. Starts up there on that, come back around this way, Ray. Starts up here on this rubber donut here. These donuts very rarely fail. This is the actual shaft starting here. If you're sending one into us, that's what you would take off from there, keep that rubber donut. There's this mounting bracket here in the middle which comes down. It's above that mounting bracket is the bearing and bush carrier that always fails. That's what we're going to replace when we change one. And this is the shaft coming along, this nice cleanish black thing. Goes back here and joins onto the rear diff here. You have to be very careful when you're taking these apart. There's bearings in there and you don't want to damage that at all if you're sending one to us. Over here we can see, oh, Trev's just passed me a failed prop shaft. If we bring this up here, it might give you an idea of what you're looking for if you're looking at your own car. That shaft sits up in there, and that failed bush there, which you can see, that's what's causing the problem. That'll be up above that cover carrier plate there. So I don't know if you want to have a close up on the bush, Ray. That bush should have a nice rubber bearing in there where the gap is, where my fingers can come through. The bush and the rubber just wear away, and eventually your shaft can flap around in there like that, and that causes an awful noise when you're driving up the road, especially when it's under load. Initially, when you start to hear that noise, generally means just a little bit of that rubber started to split, and the bush is getting weak, and it would be flopping around a little bit like that, and then as it fails and fails, it just gets worse. Plenty of people do manage to limp their car into us with partly worn bearings. It's not that you can't drive it, it's just that you don't want to drive it too fast. If you are driving one that's going, the shaft is caught within that metal band, so it's going like that. It can't actually escape, but it's not going to do it any good in the long run. We can go on the next ramp, have a look. Wayne's just starting to take one out. This maybe gives you an idea. You can see he's undone that off of the rubber donut at the front there, so that's coming out of there. The carrier plate that holds the centre bearing up, which is this plate here, look, if you want to see that, Ray, that plate there would have been up in here, holding that bearing up in there, so that plate can come down. If you wanted to look at your own bearing, you could just undo, there's only 4 bolts, hold that up, sorry, 6 bolts, hold that up, drop that down, and then you can see a bearing. This car's come in this morning, and you can see the bearing hasn't completely torn away. It's fixed at the top there, but it's going and it's just disintegrated. You can see this rubber isn't actually very strong. You can just tear it, but it's just a design weakness really. So we'll take this shaft out of this car now. You can see Wayne's just about to break it out of the back here. The bolts have come out of here, and we'll be heating this up now to pull that apart, and then the shaft will come out and we'll refurbish it before we refit it. If you're taking one off to post it to us, do be careful when you take this apart. There's a lot of bearings in the back of there, you don't want to lose them. And as a note for those that are posting them in, don't break these shafts in half, keep them whole. Okay, we need them whole, not in half. Yeah, that's just a really sort of little update for today on Cayenne Propshafts. That's me done. See you later.